So what's a guitar maker doing out in the woods? You've probably figured out that I'm going to chop down a tree, slab it, and then season it so that I can use it to build a guitar. No, that's a great video, but that's not what we're doing. We're out here because we're going to build an acoustic guitar and a ukulele. So it might seem like a little bit of a weird idea, right? Building an acoustic out in the woods. But it makes a certain amount of sense as I thought about it. You know, acoustic guitars, hippies, tree huggers, you know what I'm saying. It makes a little bit of sense. I know you get it. All we need is a plan. So you can just buy plans online nowadays. And I got these from Gen 1 Luthier Supply. And I went with the OM guitar plan. Now eventually I want to work on my own particular design. And when I was playing acoustic, I always wanted a particular qualities in mind. And most guitars are made for strummers. But I'm going to be pretty faithful on the build to this one. Before I can design my own, I think I need to get the fundamentals under wraps. And so we're going to go pretty much, I mean, there's going to be some minor changes, changes to the headstock, a little experimentation on the bracing, but we're going to basically more or less go by this. So yeah, really, really nice plans. I also went ahead and bought these ukulele plans. And this is for a tenor ukulele, and it's got a V-brace, which supposedly gives it a little bit more projection and a little bit more of a richer tone. I don't know anything about ukuleles, so I'm kind of sort of really looking forward to trying my hand at something I have absolutely no way of judging whether it's any good or not. But I plan to do a hell of a lot of research and see what it is that makes, what makes a good ukulele. I have no idea, but it looks really fun. So the whole idea here is that we're going to build both of these things while we're out camping and out in the wild. And that is going to be a huge part of this challenge, which is going to make it much more difficult. So we need a plan for that. So I have no idea how I'm going to do this. So this might come as quite a shock to you guys, and brace yourselves, but I'm not exactly the outdoorsy type. I know you look at me and you think, such a rugged individual, right? All this man beef. But yeah, I'm a city boy, man. I was born and raised in Manhattan. I don't know much about camping, don't know much about any of this stuff. So I have really no clue what I'm doing out here, and this is my first time building an acoustic guitar too, so I mean, I've repaired a whole bunch of them and stuff, so I think I got it, but and I don't even know anything about ukes at all. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. But I mean, here's the way I look at it. There's like some stuff that I can do in the workshop and some stuff that I can do out here, right? So here's the thing, look, I'm not bushcrafting a guitar, all right? I'm not gonna sit there and like take down a tree with like beaver teeth and scrape together a whole bunch of twigs and leaves to make like the neck. That's not what I'm doing. Calm down, nature boy, calm down. But there are things that I can do out here, and it's a cool opportunity to use a lot of hand tools and stuff. So I'm gonna have to split things. Some things will be done in the workshop, some things will be done out here. And there's also different types of camping, right? Like there's boondocking and there's wild camping and there's all kinds of ways of doing it. So I'll figure it out as I go. This is how I do things. I kind of I write the check and then I find the cash later. It's a way of forcing myself to do things I'm uncomfortable with. And if there's one thing I'm uncomfortable with, it's Mother Nature. Interesting for you guys too, because you might see me get mauled by a bear or get bitten by a snake or catch Lyme disease. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to learn, right? There's a lot of stuff to learn about being out here, but there's a lot of really cool ideas I have about doing our best to kind of sort of learn from these guitars. I have a design for a guitar that I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do acoustic guitars for a while. But I think this is kind of sort of a really cool way of exploring all the different things that go into it. Acoustic guitars are really interesting. And so I wanted to do a deep dive in a whole bunch of things, like how construction and size affects sound, and also tone woods, right? So let's talk about the tone woods. We got an interesting group here. Now, these being first-time guitars, I haven't really kind of sort of gone out of my way to get anything all that crazy. These are wood stashes that I've had here for a fair bit of time. So let's start off with the ukulele. We're going to go with a sapelli, very similar to mahogany, which should give us a nice, very warm sound, right? And that's going to be for the back and sides. For the top, we're going to go with a torrefied Sitka spruce. And the thing about this, it's good for strumming. It's got a lot of headroom, so lots of dynamic. And it's supposedly going to be really good for a ukulele. So it's actually really beautiful. It's got a nice, rich, warm color. For the acoustic guitar so far, what I'm going to go with is an Engelmann spruce, which is really good for fingerstyle. It's, can I get that in there? There we go. Now, yeah, there we go. So we're going to go with an Engelmann spruce, which is really good for fingerstyle. Lots of complexity, lots of harmonics. It's not a very loud top, but that's not what I'm going for. Like I said, what I really prefer an acoustic guitar for, and what I want this is to be a very warm, sustainy fingerstyle guitar. So, looking forward to this. And then we have a Padauk back and side set. Now this just happens to be what I have laying around. I'm not really familiar, and there doesn't seem to be much information about what properties it has. And of course, you know I have to do it. I'm thinking about including this wenge in there. I can't find too much information on its tonal properties, but what I hear about it is, according to Somiyagi, who's an amazing acoustic guitar builder, he actually gives it a lot of praise. Now, what I'm thinking about doing with this is getting the fretboards out of this, and maybe also the bridges. So I think this might be really, really cool. Now, as far as the neck woods, I haven't decided what it is I want to do. So like I said, in the next episode, we're going to get really into how all these things affect tone. And I think what it is a pretty unique way of kind of sort of checking out the differences between wood styles. But all that's really left to decide is what kind of neck wood I'm going to go with for each of these guitars. And well, time for some coffee. Ooh. Oh, that's terrible. Let me see about getting an espresso maker out here. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that. Anyway, it's kind of sort of interesting, right? Because I didn't realize just how much of a phobia I have of being out here. You know, I like nature, right? Like, it's cool, she's pretty, she's beautiful. But she's a bitch when you get close to her, and she's always trying to hurt you. Yeah, nothing Freudian going on over here. You know? It's bears, ticks. There's this tick that that gives you an allergy to meat. What fresh hell is that? I'm sure Gil Bates had nothing to do with that, and the lizard people. By the way, Gil Bates and the Lizard People is a great name for a band. It's not really those things that kind of sort of freak me out, though. It's just kind of sort of weird. It's just alien. So, yeah, this is going to be quite a bit of a personal challenge, as well as kind of sort of the guitar part, right? But the way I see it is like, look, if at the end of this thing we have a playable acoustic guitar, we've learned a few things, and a ukulele, and if I've managed to kind of sort of get over my my anxiety of being out here or of camping, I'll call that a win. Yeah, so I'm going to start heading back to the car. If you want to learn about acoustics, if you want to follow along, like and subscribe. If you want to bet on the chance of whether I get mauled by a bear or, you know, die out here of exposure, and that's good TV. yeah, follow along, like and subscribe. Yeah, I'm checking out the background while I'm talking to you. Is that rude? It's rude. I apologize. Yeah, there's some cool vids coming out. A few more projects to announce. It's going to be a pretty busy summer, hopefully. And they're almost done. They're in the queue, almost ready to go. So, yeah, check you guys out later, man. Peace out.